Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Computer America Show. Sandy Berger is here with us for both hours as we explore all the cool things that she finds. Ben's here as well, so sit back, relax, enjoy the Computer America Show. Sent it, Ben.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And welcome into another edition of the Computer America Show. Got a terrific program planned for you. I always look forward to our correspondence shows because we really focus in on the things that are of interest to our correspondents, and they just have a wonderful knack of picking things that are of interest to our listeners as well. And tonight will be no exception. Of course, we're looking forward to E3. We had Josh Boykin on our Gamer Tuesday last night. He and Pop Zera magazine are going to be on with us for our live E3 coverage beginning next Wednesday. I know E3 actual start was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Wednesday we'll be sort of in the thick of things, and so we're going to be covering all the special events, things that are going on out at E3 with Nathan Evans and Josh Boykin and Corey, all those different people that we've come to know and love from Pop Zera. Now, if you have a comment or a question for anything that we're talking about tonight, we'd love to hear from you. And it's real simple. Just pick up the phone and call us. 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. We also have a live interactive chat room. From our homepage at ComputerAmerica.com, just go to the show lounge. That's where our chat room is. Or if you just hover over the show lounge, it gives you an option of going to a full screen chat. And then put in a username. Let's say want to chat. Make up a name. That's the name will be known by when you're in there, and you're in. It's just that simple. And also, since we are a live radio talk show, but also we stream live video of our program, so you can not only listen to us, but you can watch us, and especially in shows like tonight, because Ben has the ability to put up and display what we're going to be talking about. You're actually going to see
pictures, demonstration videos, websites, all that kind of thing.
Right. And that to make things even more interesting, when you go to our website at ComputerAmerica.com and you select tonight's show with Sandy Berger, there is a link on that page that says Cheat Notes. It's in all caps, it's boldface. If you click on that, it'll open up another page. It'll open up a Google Docs document, and you can actually see what we're going to be talking about tonight. Not only the topics, you'll see pictures, you'll see links to if you want more information about the things she's talking about. So again, we're truly multimedia, truly interactive, and we bring all these things to you, our listeners, here at Computer America. That said, we probably should introduce Sandy. As I mentioned, she's a consumer electronics expert, well-versed in things like printers and cell phones, digital cameras, other devices. Her website is CompuKiss, COMPUKISS.com. We have a link to it on our website. And Sandy, as I said, is one of our Computer America correspondents who appears here on the show on a monthly basis. Sandy, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Craig. Glad to be back.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back. You know, and as you can see, we've been busy too. Our website has changed enormously.
Yes, you've been adding things and doing a great job.
Thank you, and Ben.
We'll be sure to tell our webmaster he loves undue praise. That's nice.
Okay, good. And what you're showing on the screen now was my cheat sheet, the notes that I do for the show.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. That is the cheat sheet, and you
Because you put in all this effort, and normally people, you have to, they're buried in the show notes, but hey, why not just put it right up on the live stream?
Yeah, exactly, and it's there. Now, before we get started, well, let me just say this up front again, that one of the reasons we like Sandy to be on the show is because not only does she finds really cool things, but she gives you an honest opinion. If she likes something, she'll tell you, and she'll tell you why she likes it. If she doesn't like something, she'll tell you that as well, and also give you an explanation. So, so that's there. Oh, Jonathan's in the chat room, says he can't find the show notes link.
It's there. I found it. It's on the homepage. It's the first one on the left.
Yeah.
In all of our things. It's pretty easy to find.
Yeah, if you click on the Sandy Berger's image comes up on the top of the page. That's clickable as well, or just beneath that. And then when you go there, you'll read all about Sandy, and then the cheat sheet link is right there. There really isn't show notes per se anymore. It's just basically it's a description of what each show is about, and then that's where we're putting the link here, the cheat links. Anyway, getting back to Sandy, I was talking that she gives you an honest opinion of what she thinks about the different products and services. So just because she's going to talk about them doesn't necessarily mean she's going to say something nice about it. But you're going to get the true scoop about it, and we certainly like that about her. So now the first thing we're going to be talking about tonight, Sandy, is actually something that we've talked about before. But my understanding is that you spent a lot more time with the Amazon Echo, and although you gave us a fairly good description of it, I see that you want to talk about it again. I'm assuming that you've made a number of other interesting observations about the Amazon Echo.
Well, it's not so much that I made the interesting observations. It's that Amazon has updated the Echo.
Oh.
So they have added, and ever since I got her, I call it her because her name is, as you know, Alexa. That's how you get her attention. She's an always listening device, a black cylinder about 3 inches around and 9 inches high. And you put her hopefully somewhere in the middle of your home, and when you say Alexa, then she perks up, she turns on, and you can ask her questions, make her do timers, alarms, ask her the news, the weather, have her play music for you.
And that now my recollection is that a lot of the things that you mentioned she was able to do before, or they've added some new abilities to Echo.
They've added a lot of new abilities. They've added sports, more sports scores that you can get, traffic. They've added the ability to do Pandora, although you really hardly need Pandora. I mean, it's great if you're a big Pandora fan, but the Echo is linked up to Amazon Prime, and that's music library. So basically, you just say, Alexa, play Claire de Lune or whatever you want to hear, and even if you don't own that piece of music, she'll play it from the Amazon library.
Well, you see, this is interesting because there are many music streaming services out there, some of them which you've mentioned. It's interesting that we had a story yesterday about Apple now kind of not giving up, but trying to pull people away from iTunes and try their own Apple Music service, live service. Evidently, this seems to be the way
to compete with the thing that everyone really likes is having a library that you don't necessarily own, but you have access to. Like that seems to be the way that want to listen to their music nowadays.
Right, and you not only have access to it, but as far as Amazon goes, if you're a Prime member, it's all free. So you pay them so much a year, but you don't have to do these monthly fees for music anymore, which I think is a big benefit.
Right. And I know Ben is an Amazon Prime member. What do you pay for your Prime service a year, Ben? Do you know?
I'll be honest with you. I signed up for it a while ago, and it's only renewed maybe once. Like I think I'm locked in like $50 or $60. Like it's not that expensive
It's
for like a
renewed
whole
once
year.
a year. I think they have gone up and they're somewhere right around $100 a year.
Okay.
Okay.
But still,
Now, if
that's cheaper than a Netflix subscription, and it's or it's about on par with a Netflix subscription, and you get so many things that it's
Exactly.
like for me, seriously, it's just the 2-day shipping alone covers the cost. Everything else is just gravy.
Yeah, me too. And the music is fantastic. So especially if you use something like this Echo,
now,
that you can.
now you mentioned Echo. Let's just back up for the edification of people who might not know what the Echo is. Again, Amazon Echo. That they just came out with this. It was a limited production, and I think that what they sold out almost immediately. They had it on a special pricing, and at first glance you think it's a Bluetooth speaker, but it's not. It's so much more than that.
That's right. It's a surround speaker,
Mhm.
but it is basically a personal assistant. So when you think Siri, this is like a Siri for the home.
Mhm.
So you don't have to have your cell phone in your hand. You can ask Alexa any of the same questions you would ask Siri if you want to know how many teaspoons are in a tablespoon, or how high what's the highest mountain in the world. She'll answer all of those questions for you. You can ask her the weather and everything else that you want to know. So she's really unique in that it's a personal assistant for the home rather than for your hand. In other words, you don't carry it with you.
Right. Now it plugs into it just plugs into the wall power. It's AC powered, and
That's
then
right.
what uses Wi-Fi to connect. Is that how?
It uses Wi-Fi to connect, right? And it also has Bluetooth incorporated. So if you do want to play some music that you have on your phone or some other device, you can play it through the Echo.
Yeah, but why bother? I mean, you just say
Right.
Alexa, play this song, and if it is or it isn't on your phone, it really doesn't matter, right? Because it's just going to
That's
be.
right. That's right. And the beauty of it. Oh, well, you said that they sold out immediately, and that really isn't true. What Amazon did is they put her up for sale. I think it was maybe December, and they had a wait list immediately.
Okay.
Okay, so you go online and you say, okay, I want to buy an Echo, and they put you on this wait list. And at that time, they were selling for $99 for Prime members.
Ah.
And so I went on the wait list in January. No, yeah, in January, and I think I got it in March.
Okay.
And now they've added more features, but they just add them, and then they send you an email saying, okay, now the Echo can do St. Patrick's Day jokes or whatever it is, and they add these things as they go. It doesn't cost you anymore. When they made a big addition recently, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, they added connected home devices. And once they added that, then the price went up to $149 for Prime members, which is where it's at right now. At least that's what I saw when I went to the website today. But they do say right there that it's going to go up to $199. We just don't know when that's going to happen, and there is still a wait list. I'm not sure. I guess Amazon to build up people that want this thing, kind of like you go to the Apple store and you have to wait for your iPhone or whatever. That must be the methodology that they're using to do this thing.
Okay, so obviously,
And, you mentioned that this was also a personal assistant, not just for you, but of course for your home. The other people living in your house, Andy, have they been using it?
Oh
And
yes,
and what
yes.
do they think of it?
Everybody is using it. I mean, people come over and visit, and if they've been here before, they know Alexa, and they immediately ask her to tell them a joke or play some music. And as my husband said, she's become part of the family.
Well,
It's the most addictive, other than a cell phone. It's the most addictive technology that they've come across. And besides, they've also added the ability to do a Google Calendar. So now I can say, Alexa, give me my calendar chores for today. Or Alexa, what do I have on schedule for tomorrow? And she'll read off your schedule. Now you can't you yet make an
Sandy,
appointment. I'm waiting anxiously for that.
Sandy, I'm going to suggest that you cut your video because you are getting a little choppy.
Oh,
Little choppy, little choppy.
So let's see how that goes.
all
All
right.
right.
All
Okay.
right, let's
So
see. Video
there it is.
off.
All right. All right. So basically now it's integrating with Google Calendar. So if you have an appointment on there or something, or she'll tell you what's scheduled for the day. Is that it?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
And that's really, it's going to be better. It's getting better and better. When I mentioned the connected home idea, um, the Echo is now compatible with Wemo devices and Philips Hue devices. And we're going to talk about a Philips Hue device maybe next, because those are light bulbs. So you can say, Alexa, turn on the living room lights, and she'll turn them on. Or
That's
turn
cool.
them off. It's really cool. It really is cool. And the Wemo devices are devices that replace your outlets. So anything that you plug into an outlet, now Alexa can control it. You give it a name. So if you plug your coffee pot in and you say, Alexa, turn on the coffee pot, she'll do it.
Interesting. And she knows turn on and turn off. Obviously, she understands the spoken language, so that.
And she understands and gets better and better. And you know, Apple has just announced that Siri is going to be better in this next version of iOS. And so they're all getting better and better, and it's amazing. It was truly amazing how they learn about you and can kind of determine what you're thinking or what your needs are.
Yeah, that's iOS 9, and again, I did not watch the Worldwide Developer Conference, and I still haven't. I need to get around to it. It's just I've been so preoccupied, but I'm going to finally get around to watching it and seeing all the new things. Did they say when iOS 9 is coming out?
It's coming out in the fall.
Okay.
And I did listen. I listened to the whole thing, and I'll tell you a story about that because it's very interesting. I got a new car.
Okay.
And my new car has where you can, attach your cell phone and make calls and receive calls, put your address book in, and everything.
Nice.
And when I read through the book on the car, it also says it does Pandora. So I thought, oh, okay, that's great, And I was listening to the conference, the Apple conference on my iPhone. And I had to leave. I had to go out in the car, and I thought to myself, gee, I'm sorry, I just got the car. I don't have time to figure out how to make it play like Pandora, because if it could play like Pandora, maybe I could listen to this in the car. Well, when I got in the car while listening, my audio on the cell phone went off. And I knew immediately, because I just turned the car on, that it took over the audio. Pressed one button, went to media, turned the volume up, and there I was able to listen in my car to the conference.
Now you see how slick that is. That thing
Yeah.
I love when things just work. You don't have to configure them. You don't have to set them up. They just work.
Exactly.
And there's a perfect example of how we're in the generation now of these devices where they really are starting to just work with each other, and you don't have to do anything special. That is a very nice, and it's nice to hear that.
Yeah, it was exciting, and I got to listen to the whole conference, which was also very nice.
So you got a new car. What kind of car did you get?
I got a Hyundai.
Oh.
Which we'll have to talk about next month, because I've just gotten it, and I'm learning all these little things that you can do with it. It's really kind of cool.
And you were surprised, especially when it's surprising little things like that. They just did it, and then it starts to work. That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're talking about the Amazon Echo and with Sandy Berger. So now,
Well, since it works with Google Calendars, I guess we can only assume that there's going to be more integration with Google products in the future. And you mentioned things like lights and things like that, but uh, what about, do you know of any other products like the Nest leaps to mind, but any other connected devices that are going to start working with Alexa, or do you think just, hey, just give it a couple months to a year and everything's just going to work with Alexa?
Well, not everything. I mean, there's if you go back to when people were fighting over Betamax versus VHS. I know that's a long time ago, but one of those devices had to win out. Well, that's what's going on now with home automation. Apple, the thing they announced was, well, last year they announced their HomeKit, but now these devices are starting to come out. And so there's going to be home automation for Apple. And, Google and Nest work together. So I'm sure Alexa will be doing the Nest thermostats. And I think that they're going to be adding more and more and making more connections as they go. And it's going to be who kind of wins out as the best way to do this home automation and which one is going to really gain. But I just see Amazon willing to work with a lot of different places, and I think they're doing a great job with Alexa.
Yeah, it seems like it. They have it's a very nice design, and the fact that they can just keep improving it, month after month, they're not rushing into a final product and say, hey, this is all you get, but the list keeps on growing.
Exactly.
It seems like if you can get locked in for a lower price now, that's good, but you're never going to be sitting on a dead product, at least with as long as Amazon is around. It seems like the Amazon Echo is never going to be just a Bluetooth speaker, cell phone, what have you.
Right. It's going to do all the things it can do now, plus more. And the other thing that they've added is IFTTT. Are you guys familiar with that?
Is that a standard for home automation, or?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not for home automation, but it is a web service that means if this, then that. So if you actually create recipes, okay, so you say, if I ask the Echo to find my phone, then ring my phone, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can program that into the IFTTT website. And they also have apps now. They've just started some really great apps for the iPhone. I don't think they have them on Android yet, but they have them on iPhone. So you create these recipes, and say every time you add something to the Echo's to-do list, it will automatically add it to Evernote. So there are like about 160 places like Evernote and all those where you can connect through this service and tell it what to do. So it's extremely useful. Matter of fact, I just kind of misplaced my phone yesterday, and I just had to say, Alexa, find my phone.
You did that on purpose.
And the phone rang.
You could use IFTTT. You just had to do it,
I did. I had to do it. And I've just started playing with their recipes, and I know you can create your own. I haven't really gotten into that yet. Maybe we'll talk about that again next month, because I think that's something really up and coming now.
Yeah, I think so. So IFTTT, in other words, it sounds like little formulas or little macros or something that you can do.
Exactly. Like I said, they call them recipes, but it is like a little macro, and you just say, if this, then do that, and
it's interesting. I think they've consumerized computer programming. They don't want macro, sounds way too techy, but if you may call it a recipe,
right.
Everybody knows what a recipe is. Oh, it's a little formula for making something, and so I think they're taking complex concepts and making them very, very simple. Because I think the average consumer says, well, we need to make a program a macro for your for your Amazon. I'm going to go a micro what? You know.
Yeah, right. No,
So
I think you're right. I think that was good reasoning for to call them recipes.
yeah, and so I think the people are more inclined to go with that, and more so yeah, and this is this something that's in beta now, or does it actually works? It's just an actual website.
It's an actual website. It actually works. They just came out with the apps for it, so you can create your own, but you can also use other ones. So anything that's already out there, you can, go ahead and use. Somebody else has written it, but that's fine because you just go on the website and look it up.
And it works with an iPhone as well, you're saying?
Yes. And it works with all these different services.
Okay.
So, matter of fact, I should bring that up and take a look at what it actually works with.
Okay. Now, also, you mentioned that Alexa can now read books.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, they've connected her to Audible, which is now owned by Amazon. And this is a brilliant move, I think, by Amazon. What you do when you buy a book on Amazon, a lot of times, matter of fact, most of the time, you can buy that book. You can pay, say you pay $3.99 for a book. You can add the Audible version if you'd like. And a lot of them are only like $2 for the Audible version. So you buy the book, you buy the Audible version, and then you just say, Alexa, read my book. And she'll read it and start right where you left off. And if you've picked up your tablet and you read on your tablet, and then you leave your tablet and go and ask Alexa to read to you, she'll continue reading right where you left off.
That's going to make being a parent so much easier.
I just think it's fantastic. Amazon gets to sell more Audible books, and they make your life better while they're doing it. So it's quite an interesting thing.
And also, it doesn't sound robotic when it's reading the books to you.
No, it reads the Audible books. It does not. It's not Alexa's voice. Alexa's voice is very nice and soothing, kind of like Siri or Cortana. I think she sounds a little bit more like Cortana than she does like Siri.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
And Cortana, for people who don't know, is the Windows personal assistant.
Did you know that they're bringing Cortana to the iPhone? So Siri's going to be really miffed.
I did not hear that.
Yeah. So a little healthy competition.
Very interesting. And they have brought Cortana to Windows 10, which maybe we'll have time to talk about later as well.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, so she can now read books to you now, and you can have, I guess, read multiple books. So I guess you do by the title or something,
Right. Yes. And if you just say "read my book," she reads, starts off on the last thing that you left off on.
Oh.
Which is usually what you want to do. And it's done in the Audible voice. So when you buy an Audible book or an additional book to Amazon's book, it tells you who's reading the book. A lot of times it's the author who reads it or a professional reader. And when you go to buy a book on Amazon, you can usually listen to the Audible, a sample of it, so you know whether you're going to like that voice or not.
Right.
So they've kind of got it all covered.
In the chat room, they want to know if they can say, Alexa, where's Jimmy Hoffa buried?
You can say it. I'll have to ask her that and see what she says. Actually, she's got quite a joke mentality. She tells
you.
She's got a sense of humor, and so does Cortana. Now Siri so far doesn't have much of a sense of humor, but they might be adding that.
Well, I think she has a bit.
They're trying to give her a brain before they, release her on the stand-up circuit.
Well, it was just the other day. I asked Siri to set a timer for me for an hour, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait," or something. It was,
Okay, well, and they're adding things.
It's a start.
As we go.
Little quips. It kind of caught me by surprise, that she would say that, or isn't this exciting? She'll say, I said,
This is where they're going with this artificial intelligence, and right now it's it's gone very far because they've done the voice recognition so well. I mean, if you guys, Craig, you remember years ago when voice recognition first came out, and you had to train your voice, and if you had an accent, it didn't understand you. And they've just come miles and miles since then. You don't have to train your voice, although, like with Alexa, you can train your voice, which might make her recognize you better.
It's speaker independent, really, and it doesn't.
Yeah, it is.
All right, listen, we're at the bottom of the hour, and we're just getting started here. Sandy Berger is here with us, our consumer electronics expert. 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. We're going to have another news tips bulletin review from Marty Winston. That's all coming up. You're listening to the Computer America Show. Lots more happening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Weren't you supposed to bring me donuts? Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time the EcoSmart Mini 1 water heater. Mini, a home office, is located nowhere near the bedrooms, and sometimes not even inside the walls of the house. Maybe in or over an attached or unattached garage or in an outbuilding. If you put in a sink and expect it to get hot water, go ahead, turn on the faucet when you get to work, and by lunchtime, the distant hot water tank may be able to push those gallons of cooled water through the pipes to get to your sink. All of those gallons in the pipes, of course, get filled by the output of the hot water tank before the first hot water reaches you. That aggravating inefficiency led us to EcoSmart Green Energy Products, who sent their Mini 1 electric mini tank water heater for review. It's about as small as a third grader's backpack, so it can easily mount under a sink. And its 1.5-gallon tank is plenty for things you do at a sink. It plugs into a standard 110-volt grounded AC outlet. It uses up to 12 amps when heating, so do make sure the feeder circuit can handle that. A top side knob adjusts the thermostat setting to define how hot, between 50 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, you want your hot water. A red light tells you when it's heating, and a green one when it's ready. You can put it on a timer if you want, so it doesn't run when you're not there. Full recovery from a cold start takes about 8 minutes. At 13 cents a kilowatt hour, that costs about 2.5 cents. Bottom line, an EcoSmart Mini 1 water heater can waste less energy and less of your time when bringing hot water to where you haven't had it before. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Here at 34 minutes past the hour, Sandy Berger is here with us the entire show to talk about all these great gadgets that she's found, and going over the Echo again with all the new features that they've been adding lately. But I think we've pretty much wrapped up that one, and we're about to move on to the next one. But since that was Marty Winston right there, I thought it'd be a good time to tell everyone that we're going to be doing, along with Sandy, but by ourselves. We're also going to be reviewing a couple products.
Yes.
And we'll have those up on the website as their own standalone content. There might be videos, there might be article write-ups. We don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But we just got our first shipment of products to review today.
Yeah, we got the a Cherry. I can say what we got, right? We got a Cherry keyboard for your computer, and we also got the is it the cooker?
The sous vide cooker.
The sous vide cooker. That's right. And Ben is about to make his first meal in it for tomorrow.
It's actually cooking right now as we speak. It's for those of you who don't know what a sous vide cooker is, it's a hot water bath where you control the temperature very, very precisely, and you can cook meats in a vacuum bag to like very, very precise temperatures, and it kind of changes the texture and the cooking method of the food, and it's very, very cool. And today chicken, tomorrow salmon. You can cook pretty much any kind of meat in it, so I'm really excited for that. We'll definitely do a bigger write-up on that one because I'm really excited over that. But just wanted to tell everyone to keep an eye out for more content that's not directly, because we're probably not going to have that directly on the show, but kind of as extra bonus content. We'll let you know when it's up, and you can go check that out at your leisure.
All right.
But getting back to Sandy Berger right now, and as long as you're done with the Amazon Echo, your next one here on the cheat sheet is your Philips Hue, the Hue Lux starter kit for lighting.
That's right. But before we go there, since we were talking about this IFTTT, I did look it up, and they have different channels. So the Echo would be a channel. They have already 187 channels.
Wow.
And some of them are Instagram, LinkedIn, Slack, Fitbit, WordPress, Craigslist, eBay. So basically, you can send things back and forth between these places. You can do things. It's something we'll get into later, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And again, the Amazon Echo, you can see it, and it's got this really cool little blue light. It pulses too, doesn't it?
When you call her name, you call Alexa, and by the way, if you happen to have someone in your family named Alexa, the alternative name is Amazon. So you could call her Amazon. But when you call her name, the circle on the top of the cylinder pulsates in a blue and green light.
So you can't change the name. It's either Alexa or Amazon, and that's it?
That's it.
Okay. So if you
that's something that, again, they might add some other names. I would think they should. But
does one work while the other's active? Like even right now, can you say Amazon and it will perk up?
No. Okay. You set it to one or the other.
Okay. All right.
Be having her around all the time. Sometimes I want to tell somebody about the Echo, and I have to be careful to call it the Echo and not to call it Alexa because she'll perk up and wait for me to say something to her. Interesting.
So if you have members of the family, if they're named Alexa, or if you have someone named Amazon, you're in big trouble.
Right. Okay. Well, no, you have an alternative.
Okay. All right. See the problems that confront the modern generation.
Well, yes, but
I'd call it Jarvis and
Jarvis would be all right.
Jarvis
might be a little bit of a copyright issue, but
Jarvis, of course, is what
Iron Man
calls his personal assistant. My favorite line from is this: something's wrong with me, sir. He says my artificial intelligence is malfunctioning, and every once in a while I end the sentence with the wrong cranberry.
Oh, okay.
That's an okay joke.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not bad.
Anyhow,
I'll ask Alexa if she knows that one.
exactly. So the Philips Hue. Now again, we're getting into the lights, but more than just lights, right?
Home automation is really, and that's going to be a hot topic all year. I mean, this year into next year. It certainly was at the CES show this year, but it's getting hotter and hotter as the Apple HomeKit comes out. I expect that's going to be really big.
Okay, so we've had many specialists on home. We've had Crestron here. We've had Lutron. I mean, we have a lot of the big names in home automation, but also those names are rather expensive because they're for whole home automation and really appeal to people with the deeper pockets. And now it looks like that technology is now becoming affordable in that just about anybody can have this technology today. As a matter of fact, sometimes with these newer technologies, they're actually outpacing what Crestron and Lutron. They're becoming a little heavy, archaic almost, because
That's right. These are seemingly more lightweight, easier to set up, and so this Philips Hue has been around for a while. I think they came out with their colored bulbs in 2012.
Okay.
Okay. And since then, they have, when I say colored bulbs, I mean light changing colors.
Sure.
So they're basically light bulbs that you put in normal lighting fixtures, and they can connect automatically. So you buy a starter kit, and that's what Ben was trying to say, was the Lux starter kit. And did I misspell that on the show notes? Started
it says
kit.
starts kit look,
Little typo.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Anyway, what you get in a starter kit, in this starter kit that I have, is you get a little hub that connects to your router, and you get 2 light bulbs. Okay, and the Lux light bulbs are not the color changing ones. They are white only. However, they have the same capabilities.
It's interesting you say white only. There are so many different versions of white, and we're seeing that, especially with LED lighting. They were all 5,000 Kelvin, which is like a brilliant white light, and
Right.
and people say, oh, we want it more like incandescent. So now they have 2,600 Kelvin, that you get 3,200 Kelvin, so they're like a softer, yellower, and they're more like incandescent lights. But they're all technically white. So and we're seeing a lot of that happen now. I don't know if they're going to make a bulb that will actually let you select I would like to see a bulb that just lets you select the Kelvin level of white, and then you get all those different ones, right?
Well, the way I understand it, the Hue color bulbs let you do that.
Okay. Because right now it's just like red or green or blue, and I'm like, I don't want the red or green. I just want different levels of white,
They have, I'm pretty sure they have different levels of white. I'm hopefully going to get some of those bulbs too.
Okay.
But this kit, the price is right. I think it was $79 at Amazon.
Oh, okay.
And you get the little router, and you get 2 light bulbs. Okay. And
right.
It took me literally less than 5 minutes to set it up. You plug in the hub into your router. You put the light bulbs. You plug it into the wall. You then put the light bulbs into your lamp, and get up the Hue app on your cell phone. Press a button on the router, and it finds it automatically.
Yeah.
Very, very simple.
Very simple, really nice setup. And again, then you go to the Echo app and tell Alexa that you have these lights, and you can group the lights. So if you want both of your light bulbs to be in your living room lights, that's fine. Or you could have one light in the kitchen, one in the living room, one in the bedroom. However you want to do it, you can group groups of more than 3, as much as you want. And then you just say, Alexa, turn on the living room lights, and she turns them on. Alexa, turn off the living room lights, and she turns them off. The real beauty of these is that they're dimmable. So you can say, Alexa, turn on the living room lights to 50% brightness. And they go on to 50% brightness. These can also be set through the Hue app. You can set them up on a timer. So you can have them on, put on whenever you want. They also have geofencing, which is really cool, so that you attach it to your cell phone, and when you and your cell phone pull up in the driveway, your lights go on or go off or whatever you want it to do.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it really is great. And you talked about the light bulbs that are out there now. Those light bulbs are pretty darn expensive. The new LEDs, I was amazed that some of them are up to $30. When I went over to Lowe's and looked at light bulbs.
Yeah, the price has to come down. I mean, look, I understand, but if you have a larger home, and you have like 40 or 50 light bulbs in a
Right.
size home, that's an investment. That's not just buying a light bulb. That's an investment. And
Well, I don't think like you totally could put these everywhere where you have a light bulb. You could do that.
Right.
But I think right now they're kind of meant to be accent. Like put it in a standing lamp, put it in a nightstand lamp. Like put it in just places that you're gonna lounge around and hang out, and you're actually gonna use it.
Right, in places that you're going to want to use it verbally with, say, Alexa or with your cell phone. Now, the thing is, if you use the app on your cell phone, then you have to have your cell phone with you to control the lights, because if you go up and you switch off the lights, then the cell phone app or Alexa, nobody can turn that light back on until you actually flip the switch again. So the place you want to put these, Ben, is someplace where you're, say you're walking through the family room, and that's the last place you go before you're going to bed. Well, you could actually just say, Alexa, as you exit the room, say, Alexa, turn the lights off, and she would do it for you. Now, another thing, that the Echo comes with a remote control. And up until now, the remote control has been kind of useless. The only thing I could think of that you could use the remote control for is if you had a loud party and Alexa couldn't hear you across the room, then you could pick up the remote control and talk into the remote. But when you talk about the lighting, the remote becomes really a handy thing to have. So now I can put a light bulb in the bedroom and put light bulbs in, say, the family room, keep the remote in the bedroom, and when I go to bed, I just say to the remote, because I'm in a different room, Alexa can't hear me, so I could just say to the remote, Alexa, turn off the family room lights.
Wow, that is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Much better than shouting across the house.
That's
Alexa!
right. But Amazon has done a really good job at making this something that you grow into, and I think it's wonderful because they're not charging you extra for it, at least up until this time, and I think it'll be a while before they actually come out with the second version or something like that. So, by the way, Craig, these the Lux lights are 2600 Kelvin.
Okay.
So they're more on the
incandescent side, yes. Exactly.
Yeah. And they're very nice.
All right, but you can't change the Kelvin, or they stay.
You can't change the Kelvin on these, and you can't change the color on these. They're just like plain light bulbs. What you can do with the dimmers, though, and the ability to dim them, and the timers, is, if you think about it, if you need to buy a timer because you're going out of town and you want your lights to go on and off, this is just perfect, because you can control the lights from wherever you are with your cell phone, or you can set a timer for it.
Or
And
or
and
geo. Or geo. So you leave your home and the light goes out.
right. And on the other hand, if you have need of a dimmer switch and you really don't want to hire an electrician to put in a dimmer switch for you, or you can't, you're not, I'm like, I wouldn't do it myself. This is an automatic dimmer switch, and for the $79, that's a pretty good deal. You get a dimmer and a timer.
Yeah, that's it seems to be coming together, but there are so many things more that they can do to make improvements. But I think for now, they're certainly headed in the right direction. I think for many people, this will be a perfect solution, but it's still not for everybody.
Like the Hue Lux is the one that we're talking about right now. But I just went to the Hue website. They have a lot of stuff, and like some of the stuff that Craig is asking for, they've done just in their other and probably
Other
more
products.
expensive
That's
products.
right. And I have contacted Philips and asked them to send me some of the colored bulbs and some of the other things that they have. They have a lot of accent lighting, and all this can be controlled through your apps or through Alexa. So it's really pretty cool.
Yeah, I especially like this one, and I really do hope that you get your hands on this. The whole Hue Beyond, where it'll actually change the lighting. Let's say you have an appointment coming up, your lights will start to turn, green or yellow. The closer you get to that actual appointment or something like that. Like
it's it's absolutely amazing. You can program these things so that the lights blink when a satellite is directly above you.
What?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you get into this and you start reading like some of the recipes and the things you can do with these lights. They can blink to tell you that somebody's in your driveway and all these different things. It's absolutely amazing what they can do.
How would they know they're in your driveway?
Yeah, I can't remember what the control was on that one, but I did read something about that.
And Craig, like here that they have the ceiling light for the Hue Beyond, and it's all shades of white, warm to cold temperatures, and and 16 million colors besides that.
Yep. And they have scenes, so that they'll set up in the app. They set up scenes for you. So this is your romantic scene, and this is your yoga scene, and this is your get out of bed scene, whatever it is. And so, with the press of the button, you change the entire lighting in the room if you have a lot of these light bulbs. It's pretty fantastic. Now, Philips has also announced that they're going to work with Apple's HomeKit. This is a Zigbee, the underlying technology of it. So Apple's going to work with Philips on this. The interesting thing there is that Philips has pretty much announced that they are going to bow out of the lighting area. Matter of fact, at CES, Philips had a huge booth, and when I asked where the lighting people were, they said, oh, they're over in another building in a little tiny booth someplace. So what exactly is going to happen to the Hue lights becomes a question. I don't think they're going away anytime soon. They're much too popular. But it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Well, if it works with the Apple HomeKit, that means you'll be able to turn your lights on and off and whatever with your Apple Watch.
That's right, exactly. Yes, you can turn your lights on and off with your Apple Watch. Okay. Now, I think with Alexa, you cannot control the colors. I don't know if you'll be able to control the colors through your Apple Watch, but you can definitely turn them on and off and probably dim them.
Well, maybe an update. These things are all
right. That's right. Yeah.
Then when the developers sit around, okay, now what do we do?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go for colors. Exactly.
Now, one other thing I tried with this Hue setup was I tried a GE Link bulb, because the Lux bulbs are maybe about $20 a piece, or maybe a little bit more.
Painful.
But but you're paying that for you're paying that for a cup of coffee almost.
Yeah. The average light bulb costs like 79 cents or something.
They used to cost 79 cents. Go out and look at them today.
Okay.
These light bulbs last 22 years or whatever. That's true. They're an investment, but you will never have to buy a light bulb again. I can understand putting bulbs like this
in places that are highly inaccessible.
Mhm.
They're way up high. You don't want to go there any more than you have to. So it
Right.
makes a lot of sense to put a
Mhm.
light like that in there. Hmm?
So anyway, since this was a Zigbee thing, I decided to try out a GE Link light, and they sell for about $12, which is a lot less. I think maybe $11, something like that. And uses the same underlying technology. I wasn't really sure if it was going to work with the Hue um, router, the Hue hub, and it worked just fine. Alexa is able to dim that light as well as the others, and works perfectly.
Well, that didn't happen by accident. They said that it would work with it, and then you went out and tried it, and it did. Correct?
Well, I had read some things online that said several people said they got it to work, and a couple people said they didn't.
Well, there's always going to be a couple
So,
people.
I wasn't sure, but it had the same technology, so I went ahead and tried it.
I know some people out there that can't get their iPhone to work. I mean, there's always going to
Yeah,
be.
that's true.
That's
That's very true.
so. Okay, so again, $79.99 at Amazon. What a deal! And of course, prices I assume will continue to come down as time.
Hopefully they will.
I mean, the cheapest LED light bulb that I've seen today, I think at Home Depot, was like about $15 or $16, but they have like a 10-year life or something span. So
Right, yeah. No, light bulbs are getting more expensive, and they have improved them so that they last longer. Now, some of the energy companies, I know I'm in an area that is serviced by Duke Energy, and Duke Energy goes into some of the stores like Lowe's or Home Depot, and they have times that they have these specialty bulbs on sale, and they're quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah, I know about Duke Energy. I remember when compact fluorescence came out. It was Progress Energy at the time, and it was later taken over by Duke. But they went and subsidized bulbs, and I could buy a pack of 12 bulbs, incandescent bulbs, for like $2, literally $2.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a bunch of those.
Yeah. Well, they are subsidizing, or some of the companies are subsidizing the compact fluorescent or the newer LED lights.
Yeah.
Okay. You won't find that kind of deal on these Hue lights, but it's still pretty good.
Well, compact fluorescents also, I only got them because those were not dimmable at the time. I don't think they do make dimmable compact fluorescents, but they're still more expensive and they're kind of bulky. And I say, why bother? Because they make LED lights now that are dimmable. They have dimmable.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
The dimmable versions, so you can get them, and the pricing again comes down. You have to shop around a little bit, but they're becoming more and more available and more affordable.
They are, but you're still paying a lot more for a light bulb today than you were 10 years ago.
Yeah, but look, again, it lasts like 10 years.
Yeah, you're getting a lot more, but that just makes these Philips bulbs more affordable, or the GE Link bulbs.
Right.
That can be automatically controlled. Makes them seem better.
No question about that. But if you already have a control system and you're looking to it, you can go for the LED lights, because not only they last so much longer, they are also they cost a lot less to use, the wattage.
That's right.
For a 60 or 100 watt bulb, it's only like 13 watts. It's way down there. So as they continue to improve the technology. I mean, they make LEDs that are so bright you can't look at them. They're using them for They're using LED lights in car headlights now because they're so powerful. So
there is a truck that drives by my house every night, and he has this LED bar across the front of his car, across the front of his truck. It blinds me in my house. Every day.
Yeah, they really they and of course you get little handheld flashlights now that are incredibly powerful. Just one LED, and they will light up the whole area.
That's right.
They make the.
But again, all this cool stuff, and then it's like people still kind of groan, and people, I mean Craig, still groan when they say you have to pay $15 for a light bulb. It's like, yeah, because you don't have to replace it every 4 months. It's it's gonna last. It's an investment up front, but it's gonna be cheaper than any other light bulb you've ever bought.
Yeah, and probably more versatile and costs less to run too. So it certainly will pay for itself in many times over. All right, well, listen, we're coming to the top of the hour, and we've got Sandy Berger here. We're going to continue on with more stories, such as Windows 10, when and why you want it. We're also going to talk about urban armor gear cases, some of the stories that we're going to be talking about, and in addition to that, we're going to talk a little bit about HBO is moving to streaming. Hey, who isn't? And and also, another story that I want to talk a little bit about is if you use Gmail, there are ways that things that you can do to basically prevent them from monitoring what you're doing. We're going to talk about these stories, and more. How to thwart Gmail snoops. This all coming up in hour 2 of the Computer America Show. The News Tips Bulletin Review also coming up as well. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And Sandy Berger continues on with us for the rest of the remainder of the show. Sandy joins us once a month, usually the second Wednesday of the month. She participates with us talking about all these really interesting things that she finds out. Again, our website is CompuKiss.com. There's also another website that you write for, too. Sandy, what is it? Whoops, can't hear you. You're muted.
That mute button will get you.
Yeah, that mute button will get you. I think she may be having difficulty unmuting herself. Let's see if I can help you to unmute yourself.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Hey, Sandy. Okay.
I'm back. Sorry.
All right. No problem. Anyway,
Okay.
what we were talking about was what were we talking about?
The publications that you write for.
Yeah, exactly. No, the other publication you write for, other than CompuKiss.com, which is your own website, you write for.
I write for a new domain.
That's right. Okay. All right. And you can see a lot of the stories there as well.
Right.
So we're going to continue on in this next hour, and we're just finishing up with the light bulbs. Again, if you want to follow along, you can. You can see everything that we're talking about tonight. All you have to do is go to our website at ComputerAmerica.com, and right there on the home page, you'll see Sandy Berger. You just click on that, and it'll talks about what the topics are on the show. And one of the things you'll see there in all caps is cheat notes. And if you click on that, it'll open up a Google Docs document, and you can see all the top things that we're talking about, all the products, and most importantly also the links. So if you can further investigate these products for yourself at ComputerAmerica.com. So we continue on with more items here, and the next thing that we have on the list here in order is Windows 10, and kind of and when and why you want it is what you're talking about here.
Right. Yeah, and the big thing is that Microsoft just announced that it's going to be available July 29th, which is sooner than most people thought. Now, go ahead.
Did your system tray do what Ben's system tray did? Just one day, I think he had to reboot his computer, and when he did, it came up and said, "Hey, Windows 10 is available. Do you want?" Or
would you like to reserve a copy?
Reserve a copy. Exactly. That's how they're getting it out there.
Okay, so there it is.
And that is on any computer that is available. That they've said you can have the free upgrade for. So it showed up on my Windows 7 computer, and it showed up on my Windows 8 computer. It is tied to a Windows Update. So when you install the certain Windows Update, then you get this little invitation thing at the bottom.
Okay. And so did you click on it?
Ben, did you click on it?
I did, and here, let me click on it again, just for those of you who are watching our video feed. You get this nice little friendly window, and yeah, it's like seriously, as far as installing new operating systems go, like they have it down to a science so simple. No longer is it Windows 95, 98. It's anyone can do it, and it's all just in a pop-up.
And it's Windows, and they're calling it, or some people are calling it, Windows Forever, because they expect this to be the last version of Windows.
That's a very interesting concept, and I had not heard before. But just the other day, I went over to, and it kind of hit me. I probably kind of knew this already in the back of my head, but I went to the U.S. Post Office and I had to buy some stamps. And you can't, they only primarily sell forever stamps. In other words, the stamps that you buy will always be good, regardless of what the rates go up there. It's forever. And then if the rates go up, then the next bunch of forever stamps you buy will be that much more costly. But the point is, you don't have the 2 cents. I mean, the 25 or the 35. You don't really have that. Everything is pretty much a forever stamp, and which I think is a great idea. And now they're taking that same concept and going to the operating system. It's going to be Windows Forever.
Yeah, that's a great analogy that you just came up with. That's wonderful, because that's exactly what this is going to be. They're going to, and they're giving Windows 10 away for free. It's a free upgrade for what they say qualified, and that's going to be most Windows 7 and Windows 8.1 computers and Windows 8.1 phones, and other devices. So if you're running Windows 8.1 on a tablet.
Is the term been coined yet, or is it just basically people just calling it Windows Forever, or do you think Microsoft eventually will call it that?
I don't know. I've heard a few people call it that. I think it's a good name. But what they've already said that they are going to just keep on upgrading this, and they've also said that this is more than a one-time upgrade. Once Windows is upgraded to Windows 10, they're going to continue to keep it current for the supported lifetime of the device, and at no additional charge. Wow. So it's a really good thing to do, because you're going to be able to keep it forever. Now, when they say at no additional charge, of course, at a certain point in time, your hardware is not going to be able to support it anymore. And then you'll be looking at getting a new computer or whatever you have to do. But until that time, they're going to keep updating it. So it really is a freebie from Microsoft. Can you believe it?
So when you get a new computer, you think, well, a few years down the road, or a couple years down the road, it will probably already come with a copy of Windows 10 installed on it, right?
That's right. So, and whether they just start calling it Windows or Windows Forever, or they keep calling it Windows 10, if you go out on this August and you buy a computer, it will have that operating system. And if you buy one 2 years from now, it'll have the same operating system that's been constantly updated.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems to me that maybe not from a technical standpoint, because you can start pushing out all these minor updates and even major updates, as time goes on, where you back in the day, you had to come out with new iterations because you couldn't push out that much data to all these people, and get it all on the same. You just had to release a whole new product and say, okay, this is the next one. You could do, you can update Windows 10 for however long you want, and you'll be fine. But what gets me, though, is that from a marketing standpoint, I can't help but feel like eventually, 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road, 5 years down the road, instead of calling it Windows 10 or even just trying a simple rebranding, like they're just going to come out and say, we have a whole new product. It's the next generation of operating system. You're going to want to go and get it. Like, from a marketing standpoint, I just don't see how one product can ever be the final product.
Well, it won't be the final product in that it will not be the same product that they're coming out with now. But I see your point. Your point is that, Microsoft several years down the line might decide that it's a better marketing ploy to come out with Windows 11 or
Like
Windows.
eventually everything gets old. That's why all
Mhm.
of us update our websites so often. It's just
Well, but
yeah.
but I think with the infrastructure that we now have, I'm talking about broadband internet. Years ago you had to buy the CD because it would just take, and you had dial-up or you had something that was really slow. But today, with multi megabyte or gigabit internet connections, the infrastructure to keep operating systems updated by downloading the newer version, I think is becoming more and more of a reality. And I think as that happens, that in itself may change the face of it so that it becomes like an OS forever, what that might ever be.
Right, but what Ben said is also true in that, if you think back 5 years ago, I mean, we just talked about voice recognition technology and, artificial intelligence. That has come leaps and bounds in the last 5 years. And
Sure.
what's the technology going to be in the next 5 years? So I think what Ben is saying is that it might be so totally different technology that they'll want to come out with the new version.
Well,
Yeah.
well, that's quite possible too. Or maybe they'll just call it Windows Forever 2 or something.
Or 3 or 4.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Like
Have you guys talked about Windows 10 on the show at all? Have
No, we've never mentioned it.
we've touched on it here and there, but it's always worth going over again because it is going to be such a massive change to the whole industry.
And we want to hear your perspective on it anyway, Sandy. So sure.
Well, I like it. I mean, I've been using it for several months now, and of course, because they keep pushing out betas, every beta gets better and better, and there are hangups with all of them. But for the most part, I think they've done a really nice job of making it a comfortable operating system for people that are used to Windows XP or Windows 7, and yet they've incorporated some of the Windows 8 stuff, and they've gotten rid of a lot of Windows 8 stuff like the charms that most people didn't like anyway. But they've integrated some of the new with some of the old. They've made a touch screen available, so I use it on my touch screen, and I'm able to do everything by touch, but yet it's very easy if you have a keyboard and a mouse. So I'm really liking it, and of course they've added Cortana,
Oh yeah.
which right now I don't think she's working up to par, and I'm hoping that that gets improved before July. I'm sure it will.
Well, I mean, look. I mean, all these technologies are really coming together and making it an experience. I think that before that really was not. It was almost kind of gimmicky. Now it's becoming, because it's so accurate. It used to be, oh, I'm going to use voice recognition now. Watch, and that it's.
And you'd press 4 buttons, and then you'd start talking. Yeah.
And now it's just going to be, I like to, do whatever, and just say it normally or talk normally, and you'll just be going about your business and working with a keyboard or work with the mouth and also talking at the same time. Cortana, find me that file and set stuff with that while I'm typing and doing something else, and she'll be doing that. And so it doesn't have to all be one thing. It's going to be like a blending, an integration of all these technologies, and it's just going to make the user experience that more productive and effective, I think.
Right, and I think that's what Windows 10 is to a big extent, that it has made the user experience a better thing. With Windows 8, there was too big of a learning curve for people that were used to the old Windows, and I think that's where the big failure was. Not that it wasn't a good operating system, it was just too different too quickly. So I think that they've done a decent job with this. I'm surprised that I thought that it was going to come out in September. So July is 2 months before that. And of course, a lot of times Microsoft stuff had come out in October. October like 23rd was their big date. So having it come out in July is interesting. Ben, the reason that they're doing this reservation thing is because their goal is to get as many people as possible on this operating system, and they're going to have to roll it out slowly. They obviously can't roll it out to everyone right away.
Yeah.
So they do the reservation thing, and I think that'll probably work just fine for them. The other thing is,
That makes me always wonder how. Just an aside to continue on, but I always wonder how Apple does it, because they come up with a new OS and they just roll it out to everybody, and it's like boom,
Apple with their commanding 3% of the entire
yes,
computing
they
market.
don't have quite as many users as Microsoft, and quite as many users as Microsoft is aiming at getting 1 billion users or something like that by the end of 2016. So they're really, their goal is quite high. They got a high bar to go, and I think giving it away for free is going to get them a lot of users. And of course, the forever idea that you can keep it, you don't have to pay again. It's a good deal.
I mean, isn't that also going? I think that's going to take care of a lot of piracy issues. They're going to basically go away, because if you're a pirate,
it's not free. It's free if you have a legitimate copy already, and that's just for the first year. They've already announced their pricing scheme, which is like $99 for the home, and then like $130 for the Pro version. Yeah.
Right. After the first year, that's what you'll have to pay for it. But they also announced that there's going to be an upgrade route for pirated versions, which totally amazed me. At first, they seemed to say that pirated versions were going to be able to upgrade to Windows 10 for free. And then they backtracked on that a little bit, but they also made an announcement saying that pirated versions will have an upgrade path, an inexpensive, evidently, upgrade path, which kind of, in a way, makes me mad, because I have spent years installing Microsoft products for myself and for other people, and I have spent years going with these long codes that you have to, is that a capital G or is that a capital S, and trying to get those codes to work. Been terribly aggravated by that, and now suddenly they're saying, well, we're probably going to let these pirated versions in. So
they're letting them in, but they're gonna have a watermark on them. So they're always gonna have like a little pop-up saying, "Hey, would you like to register your copy of Windows?" Because until that point, it's still unregistered with the watermark. But as soon as you register it, which there probably will be some sort of discount, it's always going to have that watermark that shows that it's not.
And
legitimate.
Who's going to care?
Well, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's called nagware, and that's what they probably do. So.
I actually saw somebody who had one of those nag screens, and it was a Microsoft screen where they do a red strip across the top saying you have to activate this or whatever, and they had taken a piece of duct tape and put it right across their computer screen. So they never were bothered by that.
Oh, low tech meets high tech.
Yeah, there's always a way.
There is, but
at least Microsoft acknowledges that there are people who pirate, and they're providing them some sort of way to, come into the fold. And admittedly, I don't know how many people they're going to convert, because if you're trying to get an operating system for free, I mean, you're probably just going to pirate it, and you weren't willing to spend the money in the first place. But hey, they see something, and it's just kind of one step that of a lot of steps that Microsoft is doing correctly with Windows 10.
Well, Jonathan makes a good point in the chat room too. He says because pirates, they can always be pirates, yet Microsoft is looking at them maybe as potential customers. If they just swing a small percentage over them, it's just that many more customers they're going to have.
Jonathan is absolutely right. That's their goal, is to get out as many copies of this as they possibly can, and that's why they're doing the Windows phones are Windows, and the same operating system basically for everything, for every device.
Yeah. This is true. So far you're liking what you say, obviously.
I am. I'm still telling people to wait. Don't be the first one to jump unless you want to be on the bleeding edge.
But
I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I do think that you want to wait a week or 2 or 3.
I don't know. I've always said the same thing. I'll be in the cutting edge, bleeding edge, but I don't think for most people are, because Windows 10. It's not like they're holding Windows 10 back and and then releasing it, and then look at all these things we missed. I mean, it is out in the real world. It is being tested by some.
It is.
So it's not like they're keeping it back and then we're going to release it in the world and we have to make these corrections. So when it comes out in July or something, it's already been out. They're just sort of making it quote unquote official. But it
has. You're right, and it's already been tested because there were millions of people using the beta. But I do see that every time they make a small change, like at one point, one of these actually knocked out my audio, and another time when they installed a new beta, it took out my touchscreen.
Well, I think those updates that you're referring to, although are rather large jumps. I think when they're going to get to the point where at that point everything is released, it's done, and then I think the modifications are going to be relatively minor. But nothing wrong with being cautious, Sandy. You certainly.
Yeah, Microsoft has a reputation that is not spotless. Let me put it that way. We'll just say it's not. The reputation is not perfect. So.
Who has that kind of reputation?
Not too many people.
Not too many people, not even Apple. Things happen.
Yeah.
The Computer America show, of course.
No, we're perfect.
Yeah, there you go. You're perfect. And my husband never makes a mistake either, so I can understand.
That's right. So you're obviously you and Mike Miller too. I know Mike Miller is doing our other correspondent is doing a happy dance with Windows 10. I mean, he was so miffed with Windows 8. He hated it. I mean, there was just no bones about it. He just was vehemently against it. And now with Windows 10, he's in love again with Microsoft, and everything is going well with that. And so. Yeah,
and from the technical end of it, it's much improved too. Some of the back end things that. As techies, we have to go in and do things to the computer that normal people don't do, and they've made all of that. They've put improvements in all of that and improvements in the security. So that's probably why he's liking it as same as I am.
Now, with the Windows 10, is Windows 10 going to have still going to require antivirus, malware, anti-malware products, or are they trying to get all that into Windows 10?
I think it's going to be built in as it is in Windows 8. Now, what happened in Windows 8 is the computer manufacturers still installed McAfee or Norton or whatever, and they actually turned off Windows Security or Windows Defender. Which is built in, and it's a pretty adequate, antivirus. So people didn't understand how to uninstall the antivirus program that came with their Windows 8 computer, and how to turn on the Microsoft Windows 8 antivirus.
You think Windows 10 is going to put most of these anti-malware products out of business?
No, I think they're probably going to continue to do the same thing. I think if you buy a new Windows 10 computer, it's probably going to come with 3 months worth of McAfee, and even though it'll have built-in Microsoft antivirus, if they turn it off, like I said, people just don't know how to uninstall the software, the Norton software, and how to turn on the others, so they're just going to pay after 3 months, they're just going to pay Norton or McAfee or whoever and keep on moving. I'll be surprised if it turns out any other way, be honest with you.
And we just had AVG on the show too.
Yeah, AVG has over the years been a very good antivirus program.
I realize that one product necessarily can't do it all, but I've always thought that the operating system should protect itself and not require a third-party product to protect it. And I mean, that seems to always have been the case, and it continues to do so.
Well, there's over the years has been a lot of speculation on that, and Microsoft got hit for installing certain things with the operating system because they were monopolizing different things. So there's a lot of politics involved in that whole scenario that you're talking about there.
Yeah. Politics and money.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially money.
Exactly.
It's all about the money.
I mean, just look what happened over in Europe when they kind of made Bing the default Windows 8 and really the only search engine you could use on Windows. And then in the Eurozone, they got sued,
Right.
all the way back to the Stone Age.
That's right.
Have you played anything with the Microsoft browser? What are they calling it?
The Edge?
Yes.
Edge.
Yes, Windows Edge. Yes.
And finally, a name that I like. Microsoft. That's unbelievable. I guess they kept Edge so that they could keep the same blue E. They've made it a little edgier, you might say. So it's a little the corners on the E are a little sharper, but they kept the same E. Yeah, on the version that I have that I'm running right now was the first time that I've been able to use Edge, and it has a few glitches, but it's of course much better than Internet Explorer. Most anything is, in my opinion. It's got a crisp, clean interface. It's easy to use. If you have a touch screen, it lets you scribble on web pages, which is really cool. So you can make notes, and then you can send that web page to somebody else. So you can say, "See, look at this," and then put your arrow there or whatever. And I think that's a really cool feature. And they've upped the security quite a bit, from what I hear.
Okay. So you think Chrome has something to worry about then with Edge on the horizon?
Yeah, actually, since Edge is going to come with Windows 10, I hadn't really thought about that yet. But Chrome has a big lead right now, I think, over that. But yet, when these computers start getting Edge along with Windows 10, that's probably what a lot of people will use. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, keep it all in one family. Why bring in more, third-party products if you can do it all with I mean, if you can get the operating system to protect itself, and use some of its the things that were designed to work with it, like Edge, the browser, that type of thing, some of the main components that's part of the operating system, I think people are going to be more inclined to do that, at least initially.
Yeah, well, that's why most people use Internet Explorer. And 9 out of 10 people that are, say, older people, and you'll go in and they've just bought this computer, and that's what they're using because they don't know that anything else is available.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think you're right. Edge will get a lot of use, and of course that's what Microsoft is betting on.
Okay. So anything else about Windows 10 before we move on?
Well, I think there'll be a lot more to be said about it, but we don't have to go into all that right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm personally, I'm just looking forward to Windows 10, and they really did try with Windows 8 and 8.1 to kind of make one operating system for all devices.
Right.
But I think Windows 10 is actually going to bring all the devices closer together and more integrated, much more than Windows 8 did, without actually saying as much. Like it's just going to work together, and they aren't really pushing that part of it. It's just going to happen.
I think you're right. One other thing we should say about Windows 10 is there will not be an upgrade path from Windows 8 directly to Windows 10. You will have to install Windows 8.1. Now, Windows 8.1 is a free upgrade, but it can take 2 hours or easily, and has some glitches in it. So that's the only thing people will have to, if they have Windows 8 and they have not yet upgraded to Windows 8.1, they'll have to do that before they jump to 10.
Okay. And all you Windows 9 users out there, sorry, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
All right. When you're back with us next month, we'll see. It's getting it'll just be literally around the corner.
Right. Yeah, we should have the finished version in betas by then, I would think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. We're toward the bottom of the hour here. I think when we come back, what story would you like to do next? You want to talk about the cases, the cleaning products, or talk a little bit about um, HBO moves to streaming, or what I really also is that tip from Google from Gmail and what you.
Okay.
I think let's talk a little bit about how to thwart Gmail snoops.
All right. That sounds interesting to me, too.
Yeah, I mean, because today everyone is concerned about security, and if you use Gmail, Sandy has an easy way to see if anyone else has looked at your account from a different device. Think about that. Someone looks at your Gmail account from another device. She's got a way of letting you know how you can tell that. All right, we've got a News Tips Bulletin review from Marty Winston coming up as well. You're listening to the Computer America Show. We will be right back. Stay with us. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering, or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf's staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
Stand by for more of the same. It's Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the Hampton Brinks commercial-grade padlock. How many episodes of Storage Wars do you watch before you start thinking, maybe the gym locker padlock you put on your own storage space, just maybe it isn't enough? We turn to the advice of Hampton Products, the manufacturer of many products under the licensed Brinks Home Security brand. We saw several good designs on their website involving very tough-looking laminated steel layers, but they responded with an even better choice, the new Brinks commercial padlock, ready for this model 672-52001. The laminated body gains an elastomeric jacket, little rubbery jacket, so it won't scar the surface behind it. The 2-inch body is formed from 26 laminations. The 2-inch shackle is a hardened boron steel alloy. The dual ball-bearing lock mechanism resists hammer and pry attacks. The brass lock cylinder has 5 pick-resistant pins. The specs say 7,000 pounds of resistance to prying, 11,000 pounds to cutting. Bottom line, Getting past a Brank 672-52001 commercial padlock may not be impossible, but it won't be quick. It won't be easy, and for any but the most determined of intruders, it just won't happen. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Here, just past the bottom of the hour break, we're here with Sandy Berger, and we are about to get into some articles and things like that with her. We don't have a contest winner today. That's on Friday, but they're also up and running. And but no, as you're saying, CompuKids.com. Sandy Berger joins us, finishes out the hour with us. And we're just about to get into Gmail and some of the added privacy features that they have. And I gotta say, I just used this for the first time. Although more and more I'm using Google Calendars, and it's a great service just on a browser. But then I found out that there was an app. The app is wonderful, and so I downloaded that, connected my device, blah blah blah.
Wait,
went into my Gmail account. It mentioned right there, and I never went into the settings or anything like that, but it told me that, hey, so-and-so device, so-and-so device, and it actually gave the name of my cell phone. I named it Chippy because that's what you do with phones, and it said Chippy was the last one, was just used to connect to your calendar. If this is you, don't ignore this. If this is not you, your account has been compromised. So that's a very cool feature that I didn't know was there, but I guess you're talking about some form of this where where people can use it to make sure that their Gmail is secure.
That's right. That's right. And I've had a few people who have had a problem with Gmail, or with any email program you can have a problem. So basically, if you use Gmail and you want to see very quickly and easily if someone else has logged into your account recently, you just look at the bottom of the Gmail screen and look for the words last account activity. Click on the details link, which is right next to those words, and the last 10 logins and their IP addresses and locations will be listed. So in other words, it'll say IP address such and such, somebody in Florida logged in. That could have been you, but if it was somebody else, you know it.
That is so cool. I did not know that you could do that with the Gmail.
Right, and most people don't realize that it's even there because it's in type at the way at the bottom, and you don't always see it. Now, depending on what kind of theme you have, Gmail, you can set different background themes.
Yeah.
And sometimes the words where it says last account activity, that is in white or some really light text. So it might be difficult to see, but it's always right there.
Maybe they should find some way of making that a little bit more visible.
Well, I think the thing is, if either you know what's there or you don't. But yeah, they could make it. They could make it more visible. There's also another way you can see all the activity, and you can go to security.google.com. And if you go there, it's actually an interesting place to go. You have to, once you're signed in, so say you're in your Gmail, you're signed in, and you go to that website, you can see your recent security events, so you can see how many times people have recently logged in and where from, which device you used, and it's also a great place where you can set up what they call two-step identification. And if you're concerned about security, you definitely should do the two-step security identification. And what it does is, besides having the password that you have, if you log in with your username and password to Gmail or to Google on a new device, a device that you haven't logged into on there before, they will require another step of identification, which means Google will send to your cell phone a 4-digit code, and when you get the text with the 4-digit code, you put that in and you're on. It's quick and it's easy, and it really does help with security.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know that that's there. Now, um, we we had a couple stories here left, and my inclination is, how many times can we talk about cases for your iPhones? I think if you have you have it there, maybe there might be something that I don't see with this.
Well, I found this one a little bit interesting because it's by Urban Armor Gear.
Okay.
That's the name of, and it's UAG is the shortcut. And the thing that I found interesting about these cases is they have the corners are, and I'm not on video anymore, so I can't show it to you. But the corners are well secured, and so are the sides. And that's usually when you drop your phone. It usually is going to hit a corner or an edge, and that's what breaks the screen. So that's very nice. But they have different colors that these come in. And the one thing that was confusing about their website is instead of saying choose the pink one, the green one, or the blue one, they give them names, and they don't actually tell you which name is, that the name is a difference in color. So all the cases are the same, but there's a difference in color, different name. It's kind of confusing. Anyway, the thing that I liked when they sent me a couple cases and I tried them, and they're very nice for two reasons. One is that it gives you protection, but yet it can slide easily into your pocket or your purse. Some of the rubber kind of edge things you can't slide into a pocket, or you can't get it out of your purse quickly. So that is really nice. And the other thing I like, and Craig, you might actually like this, the back on one of these, instead of choosing a color, it's translucent. So on my gold iPhone, it looks really good.
Okay.
All right, see?
All right, I like that.
You like the gold iPhone.
Good.
And when I got a 6, I got a gold iPhone.
Yeah, I don't have the 6 yet, but I think that I think the next one I am, as long as there is a gold version, I'll probably stick with the gold version. Exactly.
But I always felt bad that I had my iPhone, my gold iPhone, in a case. I could never see the color on the back.
Yeah, that would be a bummer. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah, so this translucent case on the back, and the translucent shows the gold through on the back, but then the edges and everything are black. So from the front, you got your black screen and your black edges, and that looks good too.
Yeah, and by the way, you're right. I mean, when you drop a drop of your phone, it inevitably always seems to hit a corner.
It's the same theory that cats always lay on their feet and butter toast always lands butter side down. It's the same thing.
But it only falls butter side. The odds of it falling butter side down is directly proportional to the value of the carpet that it's going to fall.
I hadn't heard that one before.
See, the more valuable the carpet, the more inclined it's going to fall.
That's right.
Exactly. All right. So again, Urban Armor Gear cases valid between what, $20 and $30?
That's right.
Okay, translucent case.
Look very rugged. I actually like the design.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a little it's got like a cross on the back, and it's I think it's a little masculine looking, and yet I have no problem using it at all. So
there you go. All right, and then also you have these little things called GUI.
Oh yeah, GUI is interesting, and it's GWEE.com. These are little cleaning products. So most people don't really care, it seems to me, if they've got fingerprints. But after you reach a certain point, all the fingerprints on your screens can get you a little bit upset, or reaching for some sort of cleaning cloth. Yeah. Well, these are little tiny devices. I think the biggest one is about 2 inches long and a half an inch wide. And some of them are very, very small, just like little tabs. And one of them is a little tab that you can put, it's called a spot, I think. You put it on the back of your iPhone or your phone, and it adheres to the back. And then it's got a little pull thing that you can pull out and clean off your phone, and it's only about a half an inch circular. Yeah. So it's just a unique thing. There's one that's a keychain. so you can keep it on your keychain. There's another one that's magnetic on the back, so it's like a little leaf that you can stick in the corner of your screen and have it available to clean the screen all the time. The amazing thing is that these things work really well. I also use it to clean my glasses.
Yeah.
So, you can clean just about anything with them. They're handy, they're convenient. My only complaint is that I found them a little pricey. So each, one, and the one that I'm using now on the screen in my car, because my car has a screen, for the navigation and everything. The one that I'm using, let's see, it's called the Racer, and it's about 2.5 inches long and a 1/2 inch wide, and it adheres to the car wherever you want to put it, and then you pick up the screening, the cleaning part, and it's a plastic backing with a soft cloth, and you can clean very easily and keep it really handy. So I think they're good, but they're pretty pricey because they start at about $10. And for one little cleaning thing that you're going to hang on your keychain, seems to me that $10 is a lot. I think they've got them on sale now, but I think the thing that they should do is give you a bunch of these, like 2 or 3 of each kind, and then charge you a bigger number for it. And I think that would go over better.
A little pack or something.
Yeah, a package of them, because they have a lot of interesting varieties. There's even one that holds your the earphone cords.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got some good ideas, but I can't see a lot of people wanting to order these, especially online.
Yeah.
At those prices. So.
Well, you could clean your glasses with a $10 bill. I guess it would.
Yeah, you could clean them with a $100 bill too.
That only if you want to show off.
Yeah, right. Well, now that would be a good cleaning device, wouldn't it?
Well, maybe.
And maybe we'll give Gui that idea.
Yeah.
They can make one look like a $100 bill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about HBO moving to streaming. We've discussed.
Finally.
Yes.
Yes. Everybody is moving to streaming. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the industry now. They're making mergers and all sorts of things, so that the industry is just changing very, very quickly. HBO, it's called HBO Go, I believe, and they are right now only available on Apple, the Apple TV.
They made a deal with them, yeah.
Yeah, they made a deal for 6 months, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
No. Well, at least the one that I heard was only 3 months.
3 months, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are going to be available, and it's going to be $14.99 a month. But the thing that's different about it is, up until now, you could get HBO to go, more or less, but you had to have a cable subscription or satellite subscription to HBO. And now this is like a freestanding thing. You won't have to have that subscription. So it's going to kind of bring HBO to the masses. I would have liked it to have been a little bit cheaper, but that is the price that the cable companies are charging. Usually, if you want to add HBO, it's $15.
My point to Ben and also you is, again, though, I mean, if you're going to become a cord cutter, this is certainly a wonderful way to do it. There's all kinds of fascinating things happening. I think there to bring these programs to people without having to be subscribed to, cable services. That's all well and good. But the thing is, you have to be careful, because if you get too many of them, then you'll wind up paying more than you would for your cable subscriptions.
See, and I just can't get behind that, because that's just not in the cord cutting spirit. The cord cutting spirit is you find services that with content that you can't live without, that you love, that you really, really want, and you cut out the $80, $100, $150 cable bill, and you say, okay, I can get by with Netflix, and I definitely need my Game of Thrones, so I'm going to need HBO as well. But at the end of the day, you're paying, and let's say you throw on Amazon Prime as well, and let's say that's $8 a month just because it's Prime. Uh, at the end of the day, you're paying $35 instead of $100.
Yeah, and the trick is going to be if we're able to actually get it down that low. Where some of these have come up with, $20 a month, but those are not necessarily the channels you want to watch.
Or you can go to CBS.com. They have an all access for CBS. You can get that. You can get current programming and also past programming. Collections and libraries. So if you ever want to watch The Mentalist from start to finish, you can. But again, so an ABC's offering something. Each of the big networks are offering their own, making their libraries and current programming available. But again, it's $8-9, per month, and as I said, they're going to start adding up. You got to be careful. I'm not saying it's wrong. You just got to be careful what you want and what you select.
Well, it is going to be more complicated after this all shakes out, which is going to take a while. I think it's going to be more complicated for people to actually know what they want. In other words, like Pandora right now, the reason they're as popular as they are is because they suggest new music to you. So will some of these or these companies that are helping you to cut the cord, will they be able to offer you things like, okay, watch this show for so long, I'll give you a month to watch this new network and see if you like it, so that they might be able to suggest things that you like from what you've already subscribed to. There's going to be a lot of new things for people, and I think it's going to be a little more difficult to actually choose what they want.
Well, and again, for example, I was looking at the CBS All Access, and I was just, looking at to see what was offered, and I found like 7 different programs that I didn't even know were going to be available. Period. Even when I subscribe, I've seen no publicity about them, nothing, but they're coming to CBS. And I only found that out because I went to the CBS.com website, and they're promoting about some of the shows coming up. Some of them look really, really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know if they're all going to do that, or if they're going to, give you access to that. As you say, it's sort of like in the they're in the shakeout portion of the program right now.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see where it all winds up at, and hopefully it all winds up as a benefit to the cord cutters, so that you can, as Ben says, get, instead of paying $100 a month, you could get something for $35 a month. But that's not usually how it goes, Ben. If you and Ben's probably too young to remember this, but when cable first came out, it was to bring the local stations to people who were too far away to actually get the local stations. And the whole theory was, when they started adding new programming, was that it would be ad-free. Remember that, Craig?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Cable was ad-free.
That did not happen in my lifetime.
Yeah,
now we pay a terrible premium for cable TV and satellite TV, and we get all the ads that we had on free TV. So
except at least those providers give you the option of getting a DVR, so you can skip through most of that.
That's a recent invention, though.
That's
true. That's true. So whether this is all going to shake out to be to the benefit of the consumer, I kind of doubt it. That's just, but maybe I'm just jaded. Maybe I'm just jaded from having seen what happened with cable TV.
We do know that I believe it was Showtime just started doing this as well, where they announced their standalone product at $12 a month.
Right.
So HBO may be the first of the premium channels to go streaming, but they're certainly not going to be the last. And if you have to get those that content, at least it's not behind a year-long contract paywall.
Very true.
To get it.
Very true.
Yes.
The terrible thing about this is that you have to really stop and think, like House of Cards. Is that on Netflix or is that on Amazon?
House of Cards is on Netflix.
Is on Netflix. Okay. Well, there's other series that are on Amazon and not on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to kind of know what you like, and then of course they'll come out with a new one, and then you'll have to have Amazon and Netflix. So,
Yep.
you know.
Not like Cinemax, it has their own too, but they have they have a series which I really got accidentally hooked on, but I think it's really good. It's called Banshee, and they're the only people that carry it, and so if you don't have it, guess what? You can't watch it. So, and they're the only ones. So, and that's not the only. I mean, that's just an example. I mean, there are a lot of them out there. I mean, was it Orange is the New Black? That's Netflix.
It's Netflix. But it seems like all these different streaming services, they're kind of knocking elbows trying to get you to sign up with them. But at least you're not paying all of their bills. Like with cable right now, you have the choice between Comcast, DirecTV, AT&T. Like you have a choice between all those, but at the end of the day, you're still essentially paying every single channel and every single content provider. You're paying their bills. With cord cutting, you're just paying for the content that you like.
Mm-hmm. Of course, some of those other providers bring other things to your home, like internet service. I mean,
Well, cord cutting is not for cutting your internet cord. It's cutting your cable cord.
Right. Exactly.
So you still might need your cable company to provide you really high-speed internet access. You're just not using their TV services or their phone services or other things. They try to bundle them in. We'll give you all three, for a low price of whatever.
Exactly. So now, with all the cord cutting going on, the bundling has to suffer, because there are a lot of people that don't have a telephone anymore,
Yep.
and they don't want the TV service. So, the bundling is just, it's got to stop being appealing to people. It's already not appealing to me, and I think it's probably not appealing to Ben.
Like every time I call into the cable company and they're like, hey, for $5 less than you're paying right now, you can get free home landline telephone service. And I'm like, it costs me, it doesn't even cost me nothing. It costs me less. I don't want that. Like
Right.
Bundling is so unappealing lately.
It is, and I think they're going to figure that out shortly. That it's just not worth it, and then they'll come up with another idea of how to sell us things, because that's the whole idea behind all this, is for them to make money.
Yeah, I think they're going to come up with a la carte. Is going to be the only, I think, thing left to them. You pick the stations that you want.
But they really don't want to do that. They really don't.
No.
That's right.
Yeah, but I mean, right now we have Uverse, and and the almost the lowest one we have, and yet it's still got I get 50 different sports channels, and I don't watch sports. There's if they can make the price lower and say, okay, well, you don't get the sports channels, that's fine by me. That's just an example, but I'm just saying that there are people out there like that, just only what they want. They only want to watch. They don't want to buy what they watch.
Yeah. The problem is that the a la carte idea is great for the consumer, but not so great for the cable companies, because they have to make contracts and negotiations with all these different channels.
It's going to have to change. I mean, the people aren't buying it. The customers, eventually they're going to say, okay, well, we need to do this. We need to figure it out.
So do you think that there'll be less channels out there, or there'll be more channels?
There may be more, because but people will only pick the ones that they want. I only want the History Channel. I want the TNT. I want the Discovery.
Again, it works for the consumers, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be worse for the consumers, because just like Pandora can do it because it's just music, and they can recommend you new things. But television and stuff like that needs more money put into it. That if you're not paying for some kind of bundle, like right now I'm paying for Netflix, but I don't watch horror at all. But at least I'm still getting all the horror movies, and they can take that money that I would otherwise not be paying and fund other shows that I might like. There has to be some level of bundling, but
yeah, that's true.
To a lesser extent.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen,
you're true.
guys, we're pretty much out of time. Aw, yeah.
Oh,
This
okay.
went by. Again, thanks,
Hey,
Sandy.
good news. You're
Thank-
invited back, though.
Yeah, and
90 seconds.
thank you so much for being with us here again. CompuKiss.com. Sandy, stay with us to the end. Just quickly, tomorrow night in the first hour we're gonna have a company called WorkSpot. This is really your workspace is as a service. In other words, a workspace enables you to securely access apps and data from any device, and you can go live in like 60 minutes or less. It's a whole system here. They're going to be in the first hour. We're going to have them on, and in the second hour, a company called FreeWave.
60 seconds.
And basically, they're here to talk about machine to machine and the Internet of Things and their technology and what they're doing to bring all these things to you, the consumer. And of course, if we have time, we'll do computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Again, thanks so much to all of you for being here tonight. Again, thanks, Sandy, and we will see you, Sandy, next month. Same time, same channel, right?
That's right. We'll see you in July.
The 8th of July.
All right.
All right, so we'll see you here, same time, same station. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow
10
night.
seconds.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, everybody, again, thanks for being here, watching us in Google Hangouts and our live video streaming. And thanks, Sandy, again, and we'll see you next month. Okay?
Okay. Good night. I'm sorry my video didn't work well.
That's okay.
All right.
That's all right.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.